Gotta get up. The Big Show on Kiss 92. Gotta get up.
Good morning, Singapore, and welcome to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. As promised, we have her in the studio. Fen Peh is with us. She's the head of corporate marketing and communications right here at SPH Media. Good morning, Fen.
Good morning.
Good morning, Fen. Now, we have you in here because we want to talk a little bit about SPH Media's recent brand refresh. I mean, like, what is? Tell us a little bit more about that and if what the story is behind that.
So, the brand refresh actually, speaks about our transformation journey, that happened since we became SPH Media in 2021, right? So, as you guys know, we became a CLG and, that has, a different, so we have a different take on, the promise that, we give to our audiences, whether it's listeners, who are on the radio today or, is to our news readers, right? So, essentially, we are committed, to improving the quality of the content, the journalism, that of the news that we bring to our audiences, and with that, we have embarked on a digital transformation journey.
Right.
Okay, a lot of it is building infrastructure, kind of coming in with, having more data and insights to, consumer preferences today, which is really, really different from, say our audiences of even like 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, with that kind of phase kind of completed, right? Then, it was high time that we look at, okay, a lot of people still don't really know, what the new SPH Media stands for.
Yes. All these things, right? What we do here, we notice this internally.
Yeah.
On the outside, it's trickling out there, slowly but surely. Just like the whole, the new SPH logo, for example. I've had a few people come up to me and ask me about it. But I'm sure as the months go by, people will start to notice, like,
Something looks different.
Yeah. Since when did you change the logo?
Yeah.
So later on the Big Show TV, what we'll do is we will flash the brand new SPH Media logo. All right. And then we're going to get Fen to kind of explain to us why it looks the way it looks now.
Yeah, and to the naked eye, to everybody else, it'll look the same, but then they'll know something's different, but they may not be able to quite put their finger on it. But obviously, you'll be able, Fen, to tell us the narrative behind the change of the logo and what it actually means. And then people will start seeing it in a different light.
Yeah.
And as soon as they see it, they'll be like, oh, I get it. I see why that's done.
Right.
So
Shall we do that? Shall we do that, actually?
I think let's do that right now.
All right. Okay, here's Pink with Never Gonna Not Dance Again on Kiss 92. Okay, so folks, this is the new SPH Media logo that we're going to be flashing right now. Look at that.
Again, yeah. It looks the same but different, if I could say that. Because
to me, I feel like it's very different.
To me, it's different because we see it every day. You know what I mean? But to the naked eye, it still says SPH Media. But with the P, you can see, and I think there's a little bit of spacing between SPH and Media. Before, it was a bit closer together. So tell us, the story behind those little shifts.
Definitely. So I think, when we actually worked on, the new brand identity, we wanted to pay tribute to the rich heritage that SPH Media has, right? We have some of the oldest running news titles in the world, actually, with Straits Times turning 180 next year, right? So it's I was told that it's even older than the New York Times, right?
Wow.
So it's definitely something, a brand that has really brought all these great titles together, and we wanted to pay tribute to that. So you will see that we have kept a very close shade of the blue. Right,
Yes.
that's the blue that a lot of people associated, our brand with previously, right? So we have kept a shade of the blue. This is a refresh shade that actually is more pleasing to the eye and more friendly on, on digital as well.
Same but different.
Same but different.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay.
And I think we also took into account how people communicate or interact with brands today. They want to interact with brands that are a little bit more open. That are more I guess approachable. So it's less of a I'm talking down to you, or I'm teaching or telling you what to think or to say, right? So that's why, we kind of kept to, even small letters, and having more rounded curves around, of the logo. We also created more spacing. And I think, one thing that, we really wanted to keep is our promise to, our audiences, that how we will always, be inspiring, discussions, debates, among the communities. So, if you looked in the logo, you have seen in the P, there is actually what we call the symbol incorporated, and you can actually take it for
a comma.
What you see it to be, yes.
A full stop.
Comma, it could be
an apostrophe.
Apostrophe.
So that's kind of like a representation of conversations that are had through media.
That's right. And really, the kind of work that we do here every day, right? So that's also kind of giving recognition to, basically work that you guys do as well.
Thank you.
Having conversation with our listeners.
Right.
Yeah, and I think SPH Media is all about conversations, whether it's through the newspapers or the magazines, whether it's digital, whether it's what we do here on the big show with the TV as well as on air. It's just all about starting conversations.
Yeah.
Which
I
is
mean,
great.
I really like the new logo.
I do as well.
I really do.
And you're right, that blue is a very subtle change, but it's not as harsh. I mean, it wasn't harsh before,
But it's a
softer
hard blue.
on the
It was a
eyes. It's
harder
hard
blue.
blue. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna call this SPH Media Blue now from now on.
Actually, it has a name for it. We call it the Harmony Blue.
Harmony blue. Oh,
See,
I
once
like
again,
it.
just keeps on getting better.
I like it. Harmony blue.
That's exactly what we are here at SPH,
That's
right?
go- that's
we're
gonna be
all
my
like
next nail color.
together.
It's gonna be my next nail color. Harmony blue.
Okay.
All right? How's that?
I think we should coin that.
What, you're looking to score extra points or
Yeah,
what?
of course. Always.
Harmony blue. I
Very
like
subtle,
that.
but yeah. Was it a bit?
No.
In your face? Okay.
It's completely fine. Yeah, I will go with harmony blue too.
Oh,
I hear
your nails? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, guys these days they
You have to go for manicure.
I hear guys these days, right, are painting their they're not painting, but what I don't know. What you call
Pedicure.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So as in like they're
He's
going.
so shocked that men go for
Really?
manicures
I'm
and
not
pedicures.
I have a
shocked.
lot of friends who go for many and
Male friends,
Right.
right? And women appreciate that.
Okay, look, I'm
Okay,
not
okay.
shocked. It's just Angel. She's
Oh.
always trying to give people the impression like I'm this, whoa, I'm so close to all these ideas. No, it's just not something that I feel like I want to
would
do.
do.
That's all. But
Okay.
I'm open to it.
Okay.
But I've got people, right, who somehow color their toenails.
Okay.
Is that normal?
For-
Okay, this
It
I'm
is a
asking you.
statement.
It is a statement, yeah.
It's
I mean,
a reflection of your,
your
sense of
personality,
style, your personality.
yeah. I mean, if you're,
Oh.
why not? If you're going
Okay.
for an event, say St. Patty's Day, you could paint your nails green. You know what I mean? It's just part of.
And then I wear my shoes. Nobody will be able to see my.
Then don't wear shoes.
Oh, so
then.
you're saying
sandals.
wear sandals.
Yeah.
Okay, not my thing. But yeah, I mean, more power to whoever wants to do
Exactly,
that. But I
exactly.
feel like it's trending right now because I've seen quite a few people do that. But I mean, back to what we've got Fen here today to help us understand and to help us explain once again. Fen Peh, by the way, is the head of corporate marketing and communications here at SPH Media, and we're very thankful to you for waking up so early and coming on the show and joining Angel and myself this morning. Question here is, why is SPH Media embarking on a brand refresh now?
Yeah, why now?
So, this journey actually started about 12 to 18 months ago, at a time where we're still, we were still carrying on with all our digital transformation, right? I mean, the work isn't done yet, but we feel that it is prime time, to indicate to our audiences, right, what we stand for, and to remind ourselves as well, right, our commitment to the kind of work that we do, because there's been a lot of pressure, right, from digital media,
Yeah.
or alternative media, where a lot of, say, the younger audiences are getting their news or content from, right, and that there is actually there is actually a lot of competition out there for their attention, and we feel that we need to engage with them, right? Otherwise, we run the risk of
Losing them. Yeah.
alienating them. If you talk to people in their if you talk to millennials, they will be like, oh yeah, we still read news on digital formats and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But if you talk to the Gen Zs, they're like, oh, we get our news from TikTok.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And then you talk to the boomers or the us. We get a little bit of both. We still like our physical, but we still like maybe the bigger screens, like the computers or the TVs. But we do a little bit on our phones, right?
That's right. And I think, a lot of our older or loyal, audiences, they know of the brand.
Yes.
And they know of, like, say, some basically our titles or our radio stations that's under the brand. But I think, there are a lot of, like, the younger audiences out there who may not know really what SPH Media stands for, right? And, I think this is kind of the prime time to say that, hey, we have, we haven't embedded in our communities all these years, and we continue to be a part of your daily lives.
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
I think that's a key word, embedded, because you said the younger ones don't really know what SPH Media stands for, but because we've been around all this time, it's just kind of been a part of your life.
That's
You don't
right.
really question it. Your newspapers come to your door. You get your newspapers on your iPad, or you get ST on YouTube, and it's just always kind of been there and evolved with the times. And quite seamlessly as well. I mean, you guys have just been very quietly in the background, just sort of upgrading all the points of communication, if I could say, and keeping up
interaction.
with the times. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think what's interesting is that you actually do see a lot of people engaging with our content, and even for Kids 92, right?
Yes.
I mean, we're on YouTube and so many other channels, and people are interacting with us and consuming our content, but they may not actually know that this is all part of
SPH Media.
That's
You're right.
Yeah,
Yes,
people
yeah.
consume content so much differently
Differently,
these
yeah.
days. Okay, we're going to go back on air once again. Traffic update coming up next.
These streets will make you feel brand new. Big lights will inspire you. Let's hear it for New York.
Kiss 92 traffic.
A couple of situations. The first is on the KJE towards the PIE, right before the Sunjai Road entrance. Little car trouble going on there. And also on the PIE heading west towards Tuas after Jurong East Avenue 2. Avoid the rightmost lane of vehicles broken down. Wherever you are today, stay safe.
Welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. Our guest for today is the Head of Corporate Marketing and Communications right here at SPH Media. We're so happy to have her with us. Fen Peh is with us. Thank you very much, Fen, for joining us once again. I think we all agree that, it is one of the most challenging periods for the media these days. I mean, I've been in the media industry now for 30 years, and I have to say, I find it very challenging these
Yeah.
days. But I'm just talking about radio here. We're so fortunate to be part of SPH Media, where, we're also talking about journalism and all other forms of digital media as well, in which everyone is working so very hard to work towards an amazing level of quality. And I think quality is what we all strive to give to our listeners and our readers these days. And so on the Big Show TV earlier on, I asked you this question, Fen. Maybe we should just put this out there once again now that we are on radio. Why is SPH Media embarking on a brand refresh now?
So, we are embarking on that brand refresh to bring out, really to bring out awareness, among, the younger audiences, kind of getting, in touch with them and showcasing a personality that they can resonate with, right? No longer we are the ones that comes out with like, oh, these are the news that you must read, or these are the things that you must do, but instead, we are engaging in different conversations, be it through our different formats, from radio to podcast or video casts, or to our digital content, right? And we've embarked on many different sort of like digital content to engage audiences. So it could be like interactive visuals, or infographics, on our different channels. I think the brand refresh comes at a very timely point of our transformation journey, where we think that our older audiences, actually, or loyal audiences knows what SPH Media is about. They
Quality
journalism. And I think we have been embedded in their lives, right? And so we have been we have been the provider of experiences that touches their lives at different moments. I've known of people who have kept clippings of their children, winning national tournaments, and so on. And we see that from a different generation. Okay, but I think what we also still see today is actually people sharing. Like I don't know whether you guys saw when Straits Times actually did kind of like that Taylor Swift.
Oh my goodness,
Yes.
yes. We had the artist
massive.
and the journalist in our studio. It was great. The 9 pages of
Yes.
infographics, and we've actually got the poster here as well. ST was kind enough to bring it in for us. Yeah.
Great, and that's really how we're engaging like different generations nowadays.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? It's like you have to speak their lingo. You have to kind of
Keep them interested.
yes, exactly.
And that's hard, right,
It
nowadays,
is.
because of a bombardment of information coming in from everywhere. Like you mentioned, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, in front of you with the papers and the magazines. So it must be a tough job for you guys to sort of stay on top of everything. But I think
Yeah.
you're doing great so far.
I mean, look at that particular example. I
Yeah.
mean, so much work went into that.
and you know
But
what?
the number of people who gained from all that work is just priceless.
And you know what was smart? Because they engaged with the Gen Zers by putting it in print,
Okay.
which is for people from the boomers and the pre-boomer generation. People don't. I mean, obviously, print is like for the older generation, but it made the younger generation buy it.
Yeah.
They had to buy at least 9 days worth of the papers, whether they read it or not. They were buying it, and they were feeling the papers between their fingers as well with that ink and everything. So it's old school meets modern day, which was a great collaboration that you guys did.
And
Yeah.
I think what was so precious about that is that you read about stories where the parents are the ones who are like, hey, boy or girl, hey, there is this thing going on, so it actually creates memorable experiences
Within
parent
the
and child.
family as
Yes.
well. Yeah, very
Absolutely.
nice.
Okay, we are speaking to the head of corporate marketing and communications at SPH Media, Fen Peh. It is 8:16.
Kiss 92 Time Check brought to you by
How hard is it to keep relevant? You know what I mean? With in this day and age, I mean, it's always like the new app, the new trend, the new, the new everything.
The new way to engage.
Everything is going so quickly. How hard is it?
It is super challenging, and
Yeah.
I think this is where the strength of having a mother brand comes in as well. Because when you're talking about respective titles or brands, under say SPH Media will have like all the different radio brands, the news brands, if you're talking about each of those brands, then it's very hard to tell or share with the audiences like, hey, these are the different ways you can engage with us.
Yeah.
Because it's just so spread out, right? But when you have you have a kind of a mother brand, where kind of shine, you have the umbrella coverage over all the other titles. It's a lot easier to kind of like share with like the different generations. Hey, if you don't read print, right? How about digital? If you don't read digital, how about consuming our content on whether it's podcasts or radio, or even social media platforms, like we see a lot of TikToks and stuff like that as
Yeah.
well. But increasingly, we're also seeing a lot of the younger generation consuming and interacting with us on channels like messaging apps.
Right, yeah, like Telegram, and
Telegram,
I
yes.
get my Straits Times news from Telegram.
Right.
Straight up, I get all the wrap up and the breaking news and all that.
Yep,
so just
definitely.
nuggets, because no one wants to. Well, not no one. People feel like they don't have time to read lengthy articles
Yeah.
anymore. It's all like small bite size.
Definitely, and the way they want to engage is so different.
Yeah.
So when I was working with the team on on ST Telegram, we were actually looking at how actually the audiences are interacting through the polls. A lot of times they are making use of like the whether it's thumbs up or basically all the emoticons and the polls.
The polls,
to
yeah.
make kind of give voice to what they stand for.
Yeah.
So some of the interesting pieces they put out about allowances they give to your parents, right? And that generated a lot of responses on Telegram as well.
Wow. Okay.
It's just
Yeah.
amazing. I'm just so amazed at how people consume
Information,
news and
yeah.
information these days.
And
huh?
like I've seen some of the ST, I know SPH Media is more than just ST, but because I see it on my phone, like when it leads from Telegram to an article and how they've done infographics for say the Formula One or something for Christmas, and it's so beautiful to scroll through on your phone because they've made it so interactive and everything's so many moving parts. So the digital team behind all that artwork as well is really strong. I do like a lot of the stuff that appears from there.
Definitely, and a lot of this actually also through hard work where we've gotten a lot more insights on consumer preferences.
Yep.
Through our data consolidation.
Can you share any like what consumer preferences are?
Yeah,
like,
that'd be
what do
nice.
we like?
So they actually look at many, many different things, even the way that you could personalize your content. I think because all of us are very, time starved nowadays, right?
Yeah.
And so much demand on our attention. So, the ability to even personalize what you will receive, actually makes a big difference, right, to a lot of our readers. And, a lot of times, like, we are able to even get data on where is it that people are pausing or clicking on.
Oh, wow. Okay.
As they read through
How
a piece
long
of
they're
news.
staying.
How long they're staying, and that has helped us to look at, okay, what do we need to flesh out even more, to our audiences, do we kind of give them like further updates, follow-ups to the stories and so on.
Right.
It's all about data these days, isn't it? Like,
It
data
is.
is the new, it's the new commodity that if you have that, you can create a brand that everyone is going to sort of gravitate towards and stay because you know exactly what they're looking for.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, definitely. And you do look at, the different demographics, the different segments, and I think, they all engages, all audience engage with us quite differently.
Differently.
Yeah.
So we do still have audiences that, would love the, our print products, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's also those who would like what we call headline readers.
Yeah.
Okay, just browse through the headlines,
Yeah.
and that way they arrive at work, they're like, oh yeah, I know what are the key things that happened this morning.
Right. Or so they think.
Because it changes, right? No, but like when I remember when my parents, when I was living with my parents, the first section I would go to was the live section for me when I was younger. Because I like the entertainment stuff
Same.
and all that. I would put away the main section. It would still be like nicely folded, and I would go straight to the live and all that.
Yeah.
And then later on, sort of slowly consume maybe the sports first, and then the front headlines, home news. But you were just mentioning because earlier you picked up the newspapers and you're like, oh my gosh, it's
Yeah.
been a while since you've held it, right?
Correct. Yes.
And
Because everything is digital for me now, right? But
Yeah.
we're so lucky to have the papers here in the morning. I still think that the papers are delivered for FD.
my parents still
FD is here.
Yeah,
Okay, fun.
yeah.
In the morning at we come in about 5:30.
Yeah.
FD is here by like 5:10.
Yeah.
And he's seated here and he's going through the
and
papers.
this is
It's
already
really-
a mess. The
Yeah.
papers are already a mess. It's like your father that's gone through the
Wow.
papers,
Yeah.
and you're like, yeah. My parents still get a subscription of the newspapers. I think a lot of people still like it, and I hope it never
Exactly.
completely goes. I
We
hope
love
it
that
never
option.
does. Yeah, I think the papers are awesome. Yes, doesn't matter if you get ink on your hands, but it's all part of the experience, right? Nothing
right.
like sitting on a Saturday afternoon having coffee, just flipping through the papers at your own time. And I think you miss a lot in digital as well because people are so quickly scrolling. But with the print newspapers, you really take your time and read every word.
That
from
is
every
true
part,
because
yeah.
even for me, when I'm consuming on digital, it's the visuals that capture my attention.
Yes.
A lot more than the copy
The words,
itself.
yeah. So
Yeah.
and then you're just doom scrolling. You're just
Yeah.
scroll. You might miss something important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just need an aromatherapy scent newspaper.
Oh yeah.
And then we read the digital news, and then
you have that scent.
yes.
It's like the scratch.
I used to love the smell of like prints.
Print.
Yes,
Or what you
exactly.
could,
Or
or,
books,
or,
right.
or what they do with the royals, right? They have
Yeah.
the papers ironed first before they're given to
Oh
them,
my
so you
goodness,
don't get
yes.
the ink on your hands.
Yeah, I remember seeing that in Downton Abbey.
Yeah, they get them ironed
Yeah.
first
Fun, that's an idea. See, my idea. Aromatherapy scent.
for your digital.
Scratch and
Scratch and
nail
sniff.
polish.
There you go. It's like Straits Times here.
But I'm so happy that you're here with us, Fen, because it would have been rather awkward for us to go on the air and suddenly talk about what we're doing here at SPH Media.
Like coming
But-
straight from her, yeah.
Yeah, but at least you're here today. We can discuss it. Hundreds of thousands of people are now aware of the tremendous work that all of us, our team here at SPH Media is putting in
Yeah.
every single day just to give quality content to our consumers. Anyway, let's go back on air one last time.
Everything means nothing if I can't have you.
Kiss 92 traffic.
Okay, let's take a look at what's happening on the roads. Quite a bit, actually. On the PIE towards the airport after Pasir Laba, an accident has been just reported. Also on the PIE heading west towards Tuas after Clementi Road's exit, a vehicle's broken down. And on the SLE towards the CTE before Woodlands Avenue 12's exit, avoid the right lane. A vehicle has broken down there. Wherever you are today, stay safe.
Good morning and welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. Our guest for this morning is Fen Peh, the head of corporate marketing and communications right here at SPH Media.
And Fen, I wanted to ask you something because apart from all the public visuals like the logo, slight change of the blue, and all the communications that are going on, we're also doing a lot of changes within the building as well. And I think the biggest one for any visitor walking into SPH is the lobby. And with the lobby, we see these sort of mirrored totem poles that are have been erected. We also see that a whole area has been converted into Studio 65, which looks fabulous. I haven't done a proper tour of it,
So
but
cool.
I've heard so many good things about it. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Definitely. So, Studio Plus 65 is actually, part of our one of our initiatives to boost our content creation capabilities, right? Creating basically whether it's, audiovisual content that, our newsroom, are looking for a higher quality production versus what you generally see interviews on the streets and so on. So it's meant more for that kind of content, and I do they even have like kind of a studio where you can invite live bands in there as well, so you guys should definitely check it out. So I think that's one of our that's one of the new initiatives we have launched, right? And in the lobby, you have seen the basically what it is the SPH Media brand activation, and I think you mentioned the mirrored pillars, right? And we also have a infinity mirror in there, where it has the new SPH Media logo. Really, what all those are meant to do is to generate user-generated content, right? Because we believe that our people are our ambassadors, for the brand, right? So, and they are the future of SPH Media, what we stand for, what we continue to do every day. So that's why in the mirrored surface, you stand in front, you can take a snapshot of yourself, you are the symbol of the future.
Right.
Nice,
And that kind of
nice.
has a nice play into our logo where, as I mentioned before, the punctuation symbol that you saw within the logo itself. So it is play off that.
And that's what everybody's doing. They need to create all these social media spots to create the UGC that you were talking about, right? Because as soon as you post that up, people be like, oh, where is she? Oh, it says SPH Media, or you're in Studio Plus 65, and you're like, oh, that's a new space. I really, really, really love the space. I feel we need to go and
It's
have
brilliant.
a proper
I can't
tour.
believe you haven't gone. I
No, I
already
haven't.
went for a
Well,
tour.
thanks for
already.
the invite, but
no
yeah.
problem. It's so nice. I was thinking to myself, because you're here today, Fen, when actually the studio's rather quiet, and because FD is on leave, and one of our other producers is on leave as well. So usually it's called The Big Show for a reason.
Yeah.
It is a big show, and
Yeah.
when we have guests in, sometimes we have guests
Quite a few guests.
by the numbers
Yes,
coming in.
yeah.
So when I saw Studio Plus 65, I went in there and I checked out all the studios. And as you mentioned, some studios are equipped, for performances and so on and
Like
so forth.
Callum
And they're
Scott was here
beautiful. They're
recently as well.
absolutely
They
beautiful.
are, yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking, the first thing I thought to myself is, maybe the Big Show should be using one of these studios on a daily basis.
For the Big Show TV.
Where we put out, content like this.
Yep.
Where, it's broadcast live the way we do for an hour every day at
Yeah.
8 a.m. Maybe we can go live for 4 hours.
Oh, wow, okay. Yeah, maybe we could. Yes, absolutely. I'm ready.
I'm always ready
Yeah,
as well.
but-
And take it to the next level.
Yeah, I
Very
mean, we've
good.
been doing a great job. We have HD cameras. You watch us on YouTube and Facebook. It's crystal clear, but it cannot replace a TV-like studio. With the proper lighting, with the with all the proper setup and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
let's do it. Let's take it to the
Do it.
next
I'm so
level.
hungry.
Let's do it.
I'm so
Yeah.
hungry for this.
Yeah.
I always
for
feel
it.
like we should be doing more.
Absolutely.
We're so capable of doing a TV show right
Well, you
here.
know what? We're speaking to the right person. Okay, we'll have a conversation down at Toastbox after this.
Well, Fen, before we let you go, any last words?
That we can look forward to, maybe?
Well, I really hope that all the listeners out there, will start checking out our social media channels where, more of like, more about our brand refresh will be posted, so, and really do like our content, follow our content,
Yeah.
on the different channels, whichever you prefer. Yeah, so hope that you continue to make us like that indispensable moments in your life.
All
Aw,
right.
nice.
Well, thank you very much, Fen, once again for joining us. And, rest assured, we are constantly working ever so hard to give you the absolute best content right here at SPH Media. Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much,
guys.
Fen. Thank you
Thank you,
very, very
Fen.
much. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.